Got to be very, very alert. The only thing I can tell you is that your protection is only as good as your last update. Yes, Roy?
This week, I had an email from one of our members, a very active member. On the bottom it said, this has been checked for virus. 2 viruses showed up on it with the ceremony for the opening of the Chinese Olympics.
Wow.
And it said on the bottom, there's been checked for virus. All of a sudden, the sirens in the bell went off from a van, and there were 2 viruses on it.
So you never say.
And here's one Roy showed me. He says, you may receive an apparently harmless email titled Mail Server Report. If you open any file, a message will appear on your screen saying, it is too late now, your life is no longer beautiful. So, you know, it's, all I'm saying is if you see something suspicious, just delete it. I don't care what it is, just delete it. Filters don't work. This finger does, your delete finger. That's your I-95 finger, so just use the delete finger and it'll be very strong. Yes?
I got an email from myself, but I didn't send it myself. What is that?
You got an email from yourself that you didn't, somebody is spamming your email. It's just an attempt to, and if you try to stop it, they change the headers, what they call on the email each time. The letters are different. So if someone tries to track it down, they can't track it down unless it comes from what we call a domain. If you could find one area that these are coming from, and you know several spammers were arrested if you listened to the news in the last week, but it doesn't stop it. It merely contains it. We're not going to be able to stop spam, at least in our lifetime, I'm convinced. It's even getting worse. But it's under control. Right? It's under control.
Barry?
Yes.
What you really have to do is constantly, every day, use an anti-spyware run.
That's right. You have to run your anti-spyware programs religiously as well as you do your antivirus. It's the only solution. Yes.
Barry, we now have this on one of our computers.
Yeah.
And very often Microsoft will be putting stuff into it. Is some of that stuff secure? And how useful is it?
The updates that are coming in through automatic update are usually very useful. For Microsoft, they're generally security updates for Windows Defender, malicious software removal tool. These are necessary for your computer. Don't ever, but when you get the automatic update, you might get a box that gives you 2 options, Express and Custom. Personally, I like to see what I'm putting in my computer, just like I like to see what I'm putting in my mouth when I'm eating. So I just put Custom there. When you click on Custom, it will tell you exactly what it's downloading or installing in your computer. These security updates are critical because they plug the holes that these hackers have found to put these malicious programs into your computer, like keystroke loggers, which I think are the worst.
Barry, something
Yes.
trying to get in here, I don't know who
Oh, just open the door and see who it is. Excuse me.
open and I'll back up.
Maybe this is Elijah coming in early. No, he left.
Elijah's not coming.
Right. Elijah's not coming. Yes.
If you do custom, it also scans. If you go to the regular one, it only gives you updates. If you go custom, it will give you hardware too. Any hardware you have on your computer, like your internet card or stuff like that. So it's always good to use custom. Because if you use the regular one, it just the Express, it only does the updates.
Now, here's actually a rebate or a stimulus payment calculator which you can use as an economic stimulus here. There's U.S. Free File to prepare your taxes. You can download forms from the IRS that are legitimate that you can print right on your printer. You can order publications. I ordered publications in January. You know, they came very quickly in the mail. Any ones that you want. It's a very, very, very helpful site. Now, if you have a simple tax form, which is really doesn't involve any type of 1040A, if it's 1040 rather, it's a 1040A or an EZ, You can do something called Tax Act, which is another website that everybody uses, but that's for the simple forms. But if you have any kind of complicated forms like we do that require an accountant or, you know, multiple forms being submitted, it's best to go something like this. It talks about e-filing, who's eligible, frequently asked questions, and there's one called Taxpayer Advocate, easy for me to say. I'm amazed at how good this site is. They have really made it very user-friendly. For example, if you want to click on individuals here, it will show you individual topics for what's new for the filing season, rebate questions. Do you need to file a federal income tax return? Yeah, in order to get the stimulus or refund, you do have to. How to appeal a tax dispute? Abusive tax shelters. All of these IRS resources. Now, they're not very popular these days, but I can just say that the website is really a gold mine of information. If you really want to learn something or get these forms, look at this, on and on and on. It's www.irs.gov. And everybody should be looking at this. How many people have submitted their taxes already? How many have not? Raise your hand. See, I sing that old song, I owe, it's off to work I go. That's right. So that's it. If you owe money, I can wait, you know what I mean? But they have a schedule that they've actually printed based on your Social Security number, the last 2 digits, as to when you're going to receive your rebate and how much it's going to be. What you do with it, I don't know. How many people are going to spend it when you get it? How many people are going to save it? Okay. How many people are going to invest it in something? Right, okay. A lot of people, we need to stimulate the economy. I don't know if it's too little, too late. I don't even want to talk about it anymore. But this is everything that you can get from the IRS. So much for that. Last week, on my class of digital cameras, if you'll click over here, Jerry, on digital, no, right here. Right here. Here.
Right here. Right
here.
Here. There.
Right. We came up with this chart. Remember I talked about resolution? And we talked about size matters in more ways than one. When you're talking about a digital camera, size is more related to resolution than quality is. What I didn't show you is that I went over to Costco and I said, I'd like to have a copy of a photo that was taken. This is by, I believe, an 8 or 10 megapixel camera. Now there's a 12 by 18. Okay? Look at the quality of it. So many pixels, right? The color is crystal clear. But can you imagine trying to send this size of